Hey guys, good morning and welcome to day 2 at the 2023 RV Industry Open House. I'm Mike Caudill, and we brought you guys 10 videos yesterday from everything happening here in the RV capital of the world, Elkhart, Indiana. And we are back for day 2, and we are starting it off. Yesterday you heard a lot of fun about things happening in the industry and some of the cool, and I'm not going to say personalities, I'm going to say characters in the RV industry. We had a lot of fun. And we thought that day 2 we would start off with one of our good friends from last year that we were over here. We were dancing through rain clouds, but we were able to bring you some good news as we headed into the latter part of the week. So I'm bringing back Leafy again. Just kidding. Leafy is the new mascot for nuCamp. And if there's one thing you want to know about nuCamp, it's they have a ton of fun. And that's something that we always talk about in the industry, right? Yesterday we were showing off a whole bunch of products and we were talking about making memories and fun. And if there's one brand that I think of that is all-encompassing around fun, it is nuCamp. And so I'm going to move from Leafy over to the CEO, Scott. And we met last year. We had a lot of fun. I got all up. I was like, man, why do you have to be taller than me? Because I like being tall. Good to see you again, my friend.
Absolutely.
You guys, it's all about innovation. It's all about fun. And before we came on camera, you know, we were just walking through, and it's just making the experience enjoyable. And so when we pulled into the parking lot, we were like, first thing, enjoyable, color, right? So let's just talk about where things have been for you guys the last year. Give us all the fun stuff happening with nuCamp.
Sure. As you know, things sort of slowed down from a little bit manufacturing side, but it doesn't mean the gears don't keep going, right? So we're always looking to expand, do new things. We've done some limited editions, some signature series, but you know, we've done some brand new stuff too. And we've got a really cool prototype that I'm going to be happy to show you here. It's a long bed, hard side, long bed, hard side, non-slide truck camper, all electric. Excited to show you that.
All right, so we're going to walk over and show you that. Did Leafy come up with this color?
Yeah, he did. He's a brilliant marketer, so he knows just what the people want to see.
Leafy green?
Yeah.
All right, we're trying to have some fun. Come on, guys, we're going to come down here. And as we make our way down, we're going to go to the Cirrus 920. Last year, we were in the 820. And immediately, no matter where you stand in your showroom area, if you will, you can tell that the 920 is big.
Yeah, it really is. The big difference between the 920 and the 820 in terms of size, you got about 18 inches more length and about 10 inches more width. So that really adds a lot more cubic footage. And with that, we can put a ton of stuff inside.
So let's start with the number one question I'm going to get asked right off the top.
Sure.
How much does it weigh?
This thing weighs just over 4,300 pounds.
Okay.
Here's the asterisk on that. That includes 810 amp hours of battery in the basement. So there's a lot of weight just because we want to make this thing LP free and no generator needed.
And what's really cool is the weight is low, right?
Yeah.
So that low is going to make it not top heavy. So when you're driving down the road, your base, your foundation is going to be solidified because the weight is down lower on the vehicle. And you're going to recommend what type of vehicle for something like the 920?
Yeah, you're going to need a heavy-duty dually. That would be our recommendation because we always want you to be safer than playing with a little bit of fire, right?
All right, Tracy, I'm going to let you go ahead of us. Let's climb inside, Scott, and take a look at what's happening here. This is, first off, just from an exterior standpoint, it looks amazing. Like, this seems like the ultimate overlanding vehicle. And whether you want to go to a local campground or you want to take it off grid, it seems like this is going to be a great solution for you. Immediately for me, looking on the inside, and we'll start here in the back, you've got, you know, a full functioning restroom in here. I mean, that is awesome. Come on in, Scott. Feel free to come in and show us some of the fun features on the inside of this so that those that are watching can get the real feel for what's going on inside this 920.
Great. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not going to come inside because one thing you need to see, one of the biggest highlights is the restroom. And it's because most truck campers have wet baths because there's limited space. But one thing that we said, you know what, let's make a differentiator. This restroom is going to be dry bath. So very, very few units in this class have anything remotely close to this.
Awesome. It's incredibly spacious, and I think that's the first thing that we see on the inside of this is the size, right? So if I just make my way up here and I just sit down, you have comfort, you have functionality. I mean, look at the size of the oven that you have down here. I mean, everything is built purpose for this 920.
Yeah. So in terms of space, right, we made the aisle a little bit wider. We made the dinette a little bit deeper. We redeemed a lot of the length and be able to give like an 8-foot cubic fridge. You know, more storage galore. We've got multiple wardrobes in here. We got sliding spice racks.
Hold on, you got to show me the sliding spice rack.
All right.
You can't say sliding spice rack without showing it to us.
Well, here it is.
It pops right. That is cool.
Yeah, so you've got tons of storage, and it's of course on a soft slide, soft close, and you know that's the way it is throughout. You've got another wardrobe up front. We've got one back here. We've got something really cool in this space, which is we've got a shoe drawer. So one thing with truck camping, you know, you're out and about. Maybe you've got some muddy boots. You keep those outside traditionally, but you also have regular, you know, footwear. Well, where's that going to go? And most of the times people don't have a place for it, but right back here, we've created a deep drawer. Now you don't need to use it for that because, I mean, real wood, just like everything else, there's nothing industrial necessarily about that drawer. So you can just use that for more storage if you like as well. But, you know, just one of the hallmarks is just our cabinetry. It's all real wood.
It is.
This year we did transition and we were using shot decor on top of the real wood. So we're not going to, you know, stray from who we are. But we wanted to bring in more of a Class B feel. So if you look at this ceiling and with the lighting, it's just that aesthetic that really makes this like a really classy, spacious, very functional unit.
Inside it does feel like a Class B, especially with the cab over part up front. You have so much size up here, a lot of storage, a lot of places to plug things in. And I really want those that are watching from at home to understand the technology that has gone into this as well. The battery technology. Talk to us more about that.
Mm-hmm. So one thing we were looking at doing is, you know, when we brought this 920 back, a few years back we had launched into this space and we didn't quite know what the camper should be. So we literally just made it longer. But when we brought this back, we said, you know what, it needs to be wider, it needs to have a lot more functionality. So we said, let's make this all electric. So down low, we've got 810 of battery. Up top, we got 930 on the roof. You don't need to have a generator. You don't need to actually have any LP, but we did make accommodations on the outside with a quick LP connect in its own compartment. And then we've got a compartment for the generator that's designed around a Honda 3200.
Scott, how are we getting juice to the batteries?
Yeah, so you got 930 on the roof, just pulling. And then we partnered with Battleborn, and they helped design this system for us with the Victron Multi-Plus 3000 watt inverter. So it's trickle charging when it's on your unit. It's got DC to DC as well. There's a host of ways to keep this thing up and running.
And you're from the top, you're saying solar.
Yeah.
Okay, so just for clarification, I wanted to make sure I got that solar word in there. So I want everybody to think about that. Yesterday we did another video. We talked about Battleborn, and Battleborn is kind of this player that's come onto the scene here over the past few years. They've created electric technology that basically takes what we know of old and has turned the electric charging system into a unit where you literally need no power for days because you're pulling electricity from these batteries that are lithium ion, and that lithium ion battery is amazing because it just can hold so much electricity. And so they're pulling from solar, and that means you could literally be off grid with this unit. And I think that's something that really makes it a standout. I do, Scott, we're going to go outside here, and I want to walk around this because I want people to see kind of the feel and the look of what it's like from the outside. And then last year when we were here, Scott, I didn't have you do it, but I'd love to have you do it this year. And that is to talk to us about how when you pull into a campground or a spot and you want to disconnect, how does that process work? That's something we've never talked about. I didn't ask last year, but I'm curious.
Yeah, so on either side of the unit, you can see electric jacks, right? There's another set forward of that. So once you get into that spot that you want to be at, you literally just get out of the vehicle, make sure you're at where you want to be, deploy those jacks down. You can do it all at the same time. You can work them individually, and then start to lift that, right? Obviously,
so it's right here. That's right here.
Yeah. Now, obviously, that's
and
after
are you using an app, or is there a button?
Yeah. So it comes with its own controller, right? But also there is app technology available. If you see these tie downs here,
right,
you obviously need to pop those and loosen them up, because that's what's making it secure, so you're safe and riding with it. But after you loosen those up, you deploy the jacks and you slowly pull out, and you're on your own.
That's it. So how long would that take me to do?
Oh, a matter of
minutes.
10 minutes at the most.
10 minutes at the most to disconnect, and I get to take my truck and head off to dinner without having my unit attached. That
Correct.
is awesome, you guys. I just want to get a good shot of the side of this, with the awning, and I do want to talk about the windows on this, because I can tell right now those are not your normal RV windows.
Well, they are becoming more and more normal, but for quite a number of years, we've partnered with Plastiform over in Europe and had custom design windows for us. They're thermopane and just great insulators. They're awesome. We want to just bring the outside into the unit, so we try to get as much square footage of window space as possible. Obviously, they have a awesome aesthetic for us as well. Partnered with them, it's just a wonderful partnership for us.
It is, and I love the rugged and durable nature of how you built this out as well. One thing consumers always look for is they want to know that they're getting something that's quality, and going with diamond plating here on the back, it just really says, hey, this is rugged, you can take it off-road, and you're going to be protected, especially when you're out there in the elements.
Yeah, it's one of our signature pieces. We've brought it over from the 820, but we added more storage functionality in that. And of course, it's got more of that, sturdy appearance and function.
Dual awnings as well.
Yep, standard. Everything's standard. There's absolutely no options on this unit. Again, it's the whole shebang. You don't need anything.
All right, just when you thought we were done, no, not yet. We're gonna continue having fun here at nuCamp, and we're making our way over to can I call them OG? The OG,
almost
the OG units, the Tab 400. We did show this off last year, right?
So you did show a Tab 400 off last year, yes. And if you take a sneak peek on the inside, you can see that the front is set up with what we call the amazing disappearing bunk bed. It is set up with bunks right now, but when you collapse it, you literally can't see it. It's funny that you did mention OG, because when we launched this endeavor with the bunks, one thing that we did do also is we put the OG, our original 400 floor plan, on hold. So we did a solid year plus of manufacturing just this bunk bed floor plan.
I want you all to think about this, right? Tracy, back up like 10 feet. Look how small this is. Then come back this way. Bunk bed for little ones. That is awesome. I know my 14-year-old could sleep in here. Tyler would be a little bit tight up top at 16 years old at 6 foot tall. But I think that's what's really awesome, is that you have come up with something that is functional for the family, that's on the go. Come inside. I want you to see this, Tracy, really fast. Scott was talking about the craftsmanship in the wood, and when you feel this, it's real wood. It feels like of substance, and they've done such a great job to take such a small unit and give you that luxury feel that consumers are looking for. And what's amazing about this, and I'll let Scott talk about it more, is that whether you want to pull this with a small lightweight truck or an SUV, I mean, you might even, I'd have to ask, what's the weight?
Yeah, it's going to be just under 3,000 pounds, so in that 2,800. So, there's some smaller ones. We've got Subarus pulling these.
I was just going to say a Subaru could play. I know Tracy's a Subaru owner. I think Subaru would be great. This is a great fit, especially with their national parks relationship. But again, awesome on the inside. I mean, again, the same quality that you saw in that 920, you're seeing that here with the soft close. I don't know if I saw soft close at all yesterday. I mean, it's pretty cool. Oh, by the way, yeah, that's right. This is in here as well.
Yeah, one thing that we like to do is give a nice bathroom experience. So if you looked at the footprint of what's, what is in here, right? A significant portion of the unit is dedicated to the bath. So it's not just a quick camping, experience. It's, hey, you know what? I can relax a little bit. I can sort of function normally. And what's really neat also about those bunks is that they're not permanent. There are a couple other things in the same space, but that are looking to accommodate the family as well. But when you go in there, the bunks don't disappear. They're just there all the time. So we thought it was important to just make them out of sight, out of mind.
We're gonna have to check on this, gang. We're in a vehicle this week. We might be able to tow this with. Do you think a Ford Maverick Tremor could tow this, their little truck? I got to go look at what their towing capacity is, because that's what we're in this week. That's what we're testing here in Elkhart, that little tiny truck over there. So we're going to check it out. What's going on with this 400?
Yeah, so this is the original, right? This is what we started building in 2017 when we launched it. So we came back after about 15-month hiatus and said, all right, let's bring back that original dinette. So the original demo, right, for our client is somewhere in the neighborhood of 55 to 70, empty nest couple, out and about. And, when we brought the bunk aspect into it, it seemed like a deviation, right? Because during COVID, it really opened up and a whole new demo emerged. But we really wanted to bring this back and say, hey, look, we didn't forget about you. We still want you. We're catering to you. So again, OG, full dinette, little more space to operate up there. And it does, too, convert into a single sleeper.
I'm going to put my money down that that's the smallest bunk bed unit here at this show.
I would agree with you.
It's got to be. It's got to be,
yeah.
Unless there's something smaller, and I just don't think that's possible. Scott, thank you so much. It's always great stopping by nuCamp and seeing all the fun stuff you guys have going on. Hey, gang, stay tuned. We're going to be going live all day today from the 2023 RV Industry Open House. We are excited to be here. It's all about the dealers here at this show. And although it's not open to consumers, we're bringing you the news on all the newest, latest, and greatest things happening in the RV industry. All right, guys, stay tuned. We're coming up here in a bit with another video live.